In this short video, you'll learn how to migrate counter readings and measurements from your existing EAM system, CMMS system, or other data source into Dynaway EAM for Business Central. We will split the topic in two. First, we'll learn how to migrate counters, and next we'll learn how to migrate measurements. Let's first look into what counters and measurements are. Counters are things that accumulate. A basic example is running hours for a machine, where the running hours record for how many hours the machine has been running over the day. It can also be kilowatt hours, shots made by the machine over the production period. On the other hand, you have measurements that vary on a scale. That can be percentage that goes from 0 to 100%, temperature, dew points, relative humidity, and it may also be things like pressure measured in bar and acceleration for running equipment. When importing and migrating, you are running through a three-step process. The first step here is to download an Excel template from EAM PC to your computer. Next, you move the counter measurement data from your existing data source into the Excel spreadsheet. And finally, you import the prepared Excel template from Excel and into EAM for Business Central. Let's see how it works in Business Central. You first go to Assisted Setup, which brings up this menu, and we are looking for Get Ready with Work Order module, and specifically for Migrate Counter and Measurement Data. I click that, which brings up a guide that will help me generate an Excel template. I click Next, and now I see a button called Download Template. Click here, and as you see, it started generation of an Excel template. I click it to open it. The Excel spreadsheet opens in protected view, so I need to enable editing first. I do that. I also see that it's hard to read some of the lines, so I prefer marking all the lines as so, and double-clicking here in the right corner on one of the headings to be able to view and read the full label for the column. Now, the Excel spreadsheet here has a number and name for each counter. So I might call my first counter here pump number 1, and then I can write a human readable name for it, pump unit pump 1, number 1, like so. I can give it a counter category code like running hours or hours. I prefer calling it hours here. You may have a max reading for your counter because it only has like 9 digits or something, so it can only go up to 9999 hours for this counter, and after that you can reset it. That will define the counter in Business Central. Now, after that, you can also import the counter readings themselves. You do that on the Counter Journal Line tab. As you can see, I have prepared data here. The first two columns are required by Business Central, and we can just enter the words default here. So I would physically enter default and default, like so. The line needs to have a number, and it must be unique, so you cannot enter 1, but you need, in this case, to enter 4 or 40 or 400 or 4000. It must be unique. Then you set the reading date in the format used by your computer. And let's say that we are in June 2020. I'd specified a counter before. I'll leave it as is and then import the data that I have specified here. And finally, you enter a reading date. On the measurement tab, you also have the opportunity to specify measurements to be imported by Business Central. That will define the measurements in Business Central. We will now import the counter measurement data. We open Assisted Setup, choose Migrate Counter and Measurement Data, and press Next and Next, which will allow us to import from Excel by pressing Choose, select the right Excel file, and Open. Now you can select or deselect table names that you want and do not want to import. So you might want to leave one of the levels for import later. You will also see the number of records to be imported. Press Migrate to do the import. At this point, let's see the counter readings that were imported into EAM BC. Press counters in the menu, and you'll note that pumps 27, 28 were imported here. Note also that no readings are visible right now. We go to counter journal. This is where you find the counter readings. You need to press register to make the counter readings available to the counter. They are now in use on the counters. And note also that the screen is now empty here. When we go to counter entries, you can create a filter for pump 27. And you'll see the readings that are live for this counter and committed to these assets. On the measurement, I can also see the measurements that were specified. I here see it. Sensor number 117 was created in the system. That's it.